Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you, Eric, H526. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy the food. And no rush at all. Enjoy yourself. And Luke St. Martin, thank you both. People, this is actually, I know it sounds like it is on the surface unfortunate, and it sounds like bad news. Michael Flynn, nothing's going to stop Michael Flynn from being exonerated. Absolutely nothing. However, when the judge in Michael Flynn's case, Judge Sullivan, Flynn judged to allow amicus submissions delaying immediate resolution. What he's actually doing is helping President Trump in the long run. I don't know if that is his goal. I don't think necessarily that it's his goal or objective, but he's doing the right thing for his court. He wants evidence, categorical evidence, even though there's a great deal of evidence that Michael Flynn was set up. But he wants categorical evidence that the Russia probe had no reason to investigate Michael Flynn, which they didn't. The notion that Putin could use information. They tried to say that the Russians could have used the fact that Michael Flynn was lying about his conversation with Sergei Kislyak against Michael Flynn or against Trump. How so? The conversation was not nefarious. The conversation was about easing tensions. Only Democrats would make an issue about easing tensions. By the way, to my super chat, thank you so very, very much for supporting me and my voice, especially during this tough time for everybody. Thank you. You have a million different ways to spend your money if you support my voice. I'm just very appreciative. Thank you. But you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the court is simply demanding that, because right now, the way the judge sees it is he lied to the FBI. We have no 302s. We have no evidence. With the original 302s, the summary notes of the Flynn interview have vanished. They disappeared. They're nowhere to be found. Gee, I wonder why. We have no evidence other than the word of FBI agents that don't like Trump. They have utter contempt for Trump. Peter Strzok has a litany of things he said, and he said, we'll stop Trump. We'll stop him. When you have FBI agents saying, he can't win, can he? He can't win, can he? Why would these people care? Why would you care so much? This is only the Democrats and media would be like, okay, the reason Clinton lost is every single reason under the sun: bias, subliminal bias, bias through osmosis, bias that you can't see, that's lurking behind you at all times, bias. Then when you have Peter Strzok, who literally is like, oh yeah, we'll stop Trump, then they're like, oh, well, oh, wow, this is big news. Now we have, wow, this is huge. I'm going to do a segment on this in about 5 or 6 hours from now as my first segment for tomorrow. He's Richard Grenell. Hold on. President Trump's chief is reported declassifying information that shows John Brennan suppressed intelligence on Russia, wanting Hillary Clinton to win the 2016 election. Wow. I will do a segment on this right after this live stream. This is breaking news, huge news, ladies and gentlemen. So I believe that's Richard Grenell doing this. So now he's declassifying information on Brennan. This is huge. It is coming crashing down, ladies and gentlemen. Crashing down. All of this is crashing down. John, look, if I've been telling you all of this for 4 years now. If we know it, don't you think President Trump and everyone at the Justice Department now, everyone at the State Department, everyone at Department of Defense, everyone at every intelligence agency knows what's going on? They view Cosmic Grandpa, I support this product or service. Cosmic Grandpa, hello. Hello, Cosmic Grandpa, hello. Thank you for watching. This is big news, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. This is really, really huge. So, one of President Trump's intel chiefs reportedly declassifying information that shows John Brennan suppressed intelligence on Russia, wanting Hillary Clinton to win 2016 election. Fox News chief White House correspondent N. Henry said Tuesday evening that it could get sticky for Brennan due to his role in developing the 2017 intelligence community assessment on Russian election interference that determined with moderate to high confidence that Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin sought to boost Trump's 2016 election chances. By the way, this is like gospel. This is like gospel and religion to hardcore Democrats. Like, they truly believe that they're the ones Putin fears. Like, they've convinced themselves. Because Putin, you know what, he's so afraid of Democrats because he wants 80% more of the U.S. uranium capacity. The 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, that just wasn't enough for him. That's what's making him so frightened of Democrats, petrified. There's other intel that may have been more serious, suggesting that Russia wanted Hillary Clinton to win. Rather than balancing that on an assessment they put out there in that assessment and set the narrative that Russia wanted Trump to win. Of course, Russia would want Hillary to everything, any computer that Democrats touch has apparently been hacked by Russia. So why wouldn't they have the keys to the castle? Imagine if you have a burglar or a bank robber with keys to the bank or to your house. Russia apparently can hack at will anything associated with Democrats. So, yet again, their propaganda crumbles in the face of just a tiny bit of scrutiny. Okay, there's separate intelligence source confirming this intelligence is among the 4 or 5 batches of documents that Richard Grenell, the acting director of national intelligence, working with Richard Grenell has done more for this country in like 2-3 months than most people have. Like, it's unbelievable. This follows Grenell declassifying a list of administration officials involved in unmasking of retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. So, the judge in the Michael Flynn case, what's taking place is the judge wants more evidence. This is actually horrible. Omar Pena! Hello, Earthlings. Hello, Omar. Hello. This is actually horrible for Democrats and for everyone who set up and framed Trump. Because at this point right now, Judge Sullivan does not have categorical evidence that Michael Flynn was framed. He doesn't have, he can't, the establishment view is that, well, this was all just really murky and done in a haphazard way, but, everyone was just scurrying about because they were so afraid that Russia infiltrated our democracy. The notion that Russia would hack the DNC, not Clinton's servers. Think of this for a second. Russia hacked Clinton's Russia hacked the DNC, not Clinton's servers. Do you realize that all of these wonderful cybersecurity experts and intel experts aligning themselves with Democrats are oblivious to the fact that Clinton had private servers with top secret intelligence and special access program intelligence? Then they're like, well, this person used private email. It wasn't private email. It was servers with top secret intel. Say it slowly. How did she manage to obtain the top secret intelligence and put this intelligence on servers? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We do not know. So the judge in the Michael Flynn case wants even more information. William Barr and John Durham probably holding everything as close to their vest as possible. Then you'll have a brief from the Justice Department that says, yeah, you know what? All the information you're getting about these wonderful FBI agents, that's not true. Because specifically, Peter Strzok, he literally stated, look, no matter, you have to understand, from now until November, you could tell Democrats the sky is blue, and if they see it on MSNBC, CNN, they'll be like, oh, no, it's not. If it's contradicted if the New York Times, the Washington Post say the sky is not blue, then they'll believe it. So you have a situation, you have a situation where all of this is coming crashing down, and also they don't care. So Clinton's still going to run. One rebuttal that people, Clinton won't run because, all of this is coming out. She doesn't care. They don't care because to them, media won't care. You and I will. Certain people at Fox News will. Definitely Judicial Watch will. You'll have great conservative publications like The Federalist, The Daily Caller, The Washington Examiner. You'll have great publications, but you'll have certain people on the left talking about it, but, then they'll be viewed as like Putin puppets, just trying to help Trump. So the left is, look, you have to ask yourself, is it sustainable to do what they did? No, it's not. It's not sustainable. There's no way to continue. First, they set up and framed people. They got nothing out of it. They got 30 indictments based on just the United States government using its machinery and momentum towards a completely fabricated notion that, we're investigating potential Russian ties. When was the last time? You don't investigate the potential for something. You investigate a crime. That's why I think the Supreme Court will give Trump a huge victory regarding his taxes. They have yet to indict or accuse Trump on anything to do with his tax returns. If, for example, you can't just start an investigation and then in Congress say, oh, well, we're trying to draft legislation. Like, no, you're not. Because the only way Congress could demand Trump give them his taxes is that they're doing so to draft legislation. They're not doing so to draft legislation. They didn't impeach Trump and set him up and frame him with the Mueller probe to draft legislation. I mean, this is like the most overt political stunt. And that's why Chief Justice John Roberts today was like, well, usually you ask Usually you investigate based on a crime having been committed. You don't investigate based on suspicion. I mean, you could, but the suspicion has to correlate to a crime that actually occurred. And when people say, well, the DNC emails were stolen. Okay, but the DNC emails is a private entity. The DNC is a private entity. The United States government is not going to impose sanctions on a country because, IBM is hacked by Russia or China or anybody else. So why would they do so for the DNC? UFO talk! Yes. Yes, 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 a million times yes. You think the lockdown played a role in the special elections tonight? Yes. Also, Republican won the special election in San Bernardino. Yes, absolutely. They're in for UFO talk. They overplayed their hand. It would be like a pickup game in basketball where you always tried to shoot 3-pointers and you just didn't have the range, and you just every shot's a break, and your team's gonna lose because you're overplaying. Like in poker, you're bluffing all the time. In football, always go for the Hail Mary. They've overplayed their hand. They don't know when to stop. UFO talk. They don't know when to stop. They have because the media and social media in general, if you're on Twitter and you say something really absurd and outlandish that only an imbecile would like, then Democrats will retweet you a million times over. You could just say anything negative about Trump. Literally anything negative about Trump. Anything negative about Trump. Anything negative about Trump. I mean the most absurd thing. It could be like 3 sentences. Trump is bad. It'll be retweeted a million times. So you can't surround yourself with people who see a problem and just stay quiet. Now that's different from the narcissists who are liberals who tell their friends, well, I'm calling you out because your political ideology is your politics is different from mine. I'm calling you out. It's like, so what? I don't lose friends because someone says LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan's better. Okay. But I love LeBron James. He's great. And if you say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, that's fine with me. It's fine with me. You want to vote for Clinton, knowing all the things that she's done? You want to vote for Biden, which it won't be Biden, but let's just say you think Biden. It'll be Hillary Clinton in 2020. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. If you're on Facebook, share my article right now. It is below in the description of this live stream. You want to vote for a political party that wants to keep us in all the places that Trump is trying to pull us out of? You think that's moral? Do I really want to hang out with somebody like that? I don't care, because politics affects everyone in different ways. But what they've done, ladies and gentlemen, media and Democrats, they've said, well, you're voting for Trump, so that's a personal affront because Trump's going to do this to hurt me. It's like, oh my God. No, wrong. If anything, Trump, it's funny, when there was record low unemployment, then it was, well, that doesn't matter. Anything good, First Step Act, signing a deal to bring home soldiers, first president to step foot in North Korea to begin détente between North and South Korea, some kind of roadmap towards peace. When it's anything good Trump does, it's not a big deal. They sweep it under the rug. It's not a problem. It's President Obama's economy. And then they're going to say it's President Obama's economy again when the economy rebounds. But you got to understand also, anything bad that happens, people, anything bad that happens, It is always, always, always. It is always. It is always the fault of Trump. It is always the fault of Trump. But share that article. It's below in the pinned comment. Subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman. I'll be doing a big segment right now. DR, Trump is hinting at about UFOs. Interesting. DR, thank you. Thank you, DR. Thank you. Share, everyone. The Times of Israel article is just up. Hillary Clinton, not Biden, will be nominee in 2020. They don't have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. And now you have UFO talk. Now you have Brennan. Now you have Brennan being a part of the disclosure of just how corrupt they were. Really unbelievable how corrupt they were. It really, really, really is unbelievable. It's the corruption is J-Hold, hello. The corruption is that they don't care. Do you understand? They don't. The accepted fact, reality is that Trump was set up. They know that Trump was set up. They don't care because then they say, well, we had to set him up. Anthony Andrea, H.A., who's the first domino to fall? I see Susan Rice getting. Ooh, yeah. Anthony, I don't think Susan Rice, and I'll tell you why. I think that it'll be very likely William Barr and John Durham will indict somebody like a lower level FBI official or like a Kevin Kleinsmith type person. Because all the communication that they everything they said on government issued phones, the government has. Everything that they see, they say, well, we don't have the 302s. They have the 302s. They have the original notes from Strzok and McCabe. And then they said, well, we wiped the phones clean. So what? The servers, the government server, they're running on government servers. The servers have all the information. So every single dirty, corrupt, underhanded, shady, surreptitious thing has already been documented. And William Barr and John Durham have access to it. Cosmic Grandpa, hello. My goodness, this hair is like... I got to do something with this hair. I'm waiting for for one of the salons to open up. But Anthony, I think it's going to be either maybe a lower level person under Brennan, somebody under Clapper, could be one of the main people. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it could happen before the election. I would be very surprised. But the accountability will eventually take place. People will be held accountable. They were very sloppy, ladies and gentlemen. They were very, very sloppy. They were very sloppy. And they basically they weren't. It wasn't like we're dealing with the most intelligent people here. They didn't care. Ha ha ha, Joey, I got to do something. Maybe a faux hawk. Like not really a mohawk, but so the judge wants more information. Maybe he'll get some information on Brennan. The issue, April, thank you. The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that they had no reason to investigate Trump. And even before that, the DNC getting hacked by Russia is not national security. Because they... CG3SSF, hello. The DNC getting hacked by Russia is not national security. It's a private entity. Furthermore, we have no clue if it was hacked or not. because the DNC emails, because of CrowdStrike stated that they don't even know. They have no direct concrete evidence. So UFO talk. HH, the lockdowns cost Democrats votes tonight. Then the approval polls are inaccurate. That means lockdowns are unpopular among voters. Oh, I'm sure they're very unpopular. I don't know. Anthony, hello. I don't know who enjoys this. The whole thing with the lockdowns is people say, well, we have to because, to save our lives. There are those people. There are those people who say, we need this to save our lives. But the media is working in overdrive. UFO talk. They're working in overdrive to protect themselves from the repercussions of keeping people inside their homes. The only people who are like the liberals and Democrats and you must have a really good savings account or a sufficient save if you're okay with, or you just must really enjoy staying home. Because if there are millions of most Americans don't have much of a savings, and most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So I don't get how, harping on trying to turn this into an issue where they're proud. Like Democrats are proud of telling people to stay home. They think that they're doing the Lord's work. They've jettisoned religion, but they think that they're doing the best thing for humanity ever. And most Americans are like, you know what? We'll take the chance. We take chances every day of our lives. Go to the CDC, the CDC statistics on California, and the ways people have lost their lives. Everything from car accidents to, you can look. More people lost their lives from the flu from 2014 each year up until 2017, and they don't have the 2018 figures, but it's almost certainly the same. We've had in California around 3,000 more people lose their lives every year from the regular flu than from this crisis. And we've shut down the entire state. Now California has a $54 billion budget deficit. I mean, these politicians have completely obliterated the United States economy. Thank God we had record low unemployment. Thank God the economy was doing quite well because of President Trump. And yes, the tax cuts work. It worked. The tax cuts worked. The Dallas Federal Reserve came out and stated that the tax cuts did indeed work. Rick Crespo, you may have answered this. All Trump has for October. No, he has a lot. In terms of what he can, run on, or what he can. Just the other day, they selectively edited William Barr's conversation just to make William Barr look, horrible. That is just one of many things Trump can talk about during the debates. He could talk about the economy. The economy was, we had record low unemployment. Record low unemployment. I'll put my Angels beanie on because it's not as warm as the other. Let's see if I keep this beanie on. Rick, he could talk about the economy. We had record low unemployment. He could talk about peace, the beginning of peace between North and South Korea, or détente, at least. Détente. He could talk about bringing home Americans. He was the first president. Well, he signed the peace deal that will eventually bring home an end America's longest-running military conflict. But, I mean, that's a big one. So, Rick, that's a big one. Because if you look, you got Brennan, you got Comey, you got Strzok, you got McCabe, you got Clapper. You have all these people, these talking heads, who should be, they should be like referees in football or umpires. If you know the umpire's name in baseball, that means something bad happened. That means there was a bad call. That means, that means something happened to where we have to know the umpire's name. That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. You don't want to know the umpire's name. You don't need to know everything about Comey and Strzok and McCabe. How many times in American history have you known who the assistant director of the FBI is? How many times in FBI history have you known who the second in command in counterintelligence is? And counterintelligence is supposed to be looking at other countries, not this country. These are the counterintelligence. This is an FBI under Comey that allowed a Secretary of State for 4 years to have servers. Again, Democrats have convinced themselves of the reality they want to exist. It's a fabricated fantasy. They think that Clinton was just about emails. It wasn't about emails. It wasn't about private emails. It was about servers. They never use the word servers because they're very, look, almost every article written today is a public relations release. Definitely the New York Times and Washington Post. It's just, you might as well just call themselves the DNC newsletters. Everything. Believe with Kavanaugh, don't believe with Biden. Russia with Trump. It's okay, Russian disinformation in the Steele dossier. Oh, no problem. They literally purchased a dossier. Clinton literally purchased a dossier. And they used it to set up and frame Trump because they had nothing on Trump. So they just we'll make something up. They needed to lie about Trump because the truth about them was so horrendous. And that's what it comes down to. They needed to fabricate this absurd, ridiculous, ludicrous story that Russia hacked the DNC to inform everyone that Bernie was cheated, yet Hillary still won fair and square. So, they're all over the place. Now you have Howard Stern talking about, this is the thing. He helped President Trump greatly. Now he's trying to erase the fact that he helped President Trump. Thank goodness he gave President Trump a forum. And then he says, he dislikes Trump supporters. Trump supporters are the ones, almost certainly, independents and Trump supporters were the ones that listened to him throughout his life. Howard Stern would not be who he is were it not for a fan base that enjoyed his type of comedy, completely irreverent. Howard Stern does not speak to the I'm with her crowd. So this is funny. Howard Stern dislikes Trump supporters and says Trump still dislikes them too. No, Trump doesn't. He doesn't. And that's number one. Number two, you talk about Trump's base. Howard Stern's base is not liberal Twitter. So again, this is Hollywood. It's just unbelievable. This is the same person, Howard Stern, who's great. I used to listen to him. I used to listen to him all my life. But here's a guy who made an impact in media by being completely irreverent and by insulting and by demeaning and by just, it's hilarious. Howard Stern's comedy is hilarious. But he's not the I'm with her crowd. But he's still pandering to the left. No, he's pandering to the left when, well, I guess, you could say when he was back then it was more Republicans. No, but then you had Tipper Gore and the whole censorship thing. So whatever. It's the establishment, both left and right, that wanted to silence Howard Stern. Now he is the establishment. So maybe he should silence himself. Who knows? I mean, it's like this disingenuous nonsense. Tron North. Big fan from Canada. Thank you. Please annex us. We tried. In 1812, it didn't work. Trump 2020. May he jail those who sold U.S. and Canada off to China. Thanks for your commentary, HA, giving your beacon of hope and rationality. Tron, God bless you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Tron. Thank you very, very much for always watching. Thank you. And actually, we kind of lost. Well, we did lose. We tried to invade Canada. It didn't work in the War of 1812. Tron, thank you. Aria Lee, love your live streams. Love this chat family. Trump 2020, thank you. Sluggo, keep it up. Thank you, Sluggo. Thank you, Aria, as always. Thank you, Tron. Thank you for always watching. Yep, in 1812, we actually tried to annex Canada. It didn't work. I don't know if we necessarily, if the word annex is the right. Yeah, we tried to, and it didn't work. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. Yeah, probably for the best. Thank you, Tron. Thank you, Aria. So yeah, I mean, Sluggo, thank you. You have you also look, there is no Democrats have to paint this fantasy that all Trump supporters are bigots and monsters, that Trump is a Putin puppet, that basically lit torches, that he worked he withheld military assistance from Ukraine because Biden is such a formidable opponent. It ain't going to be Biden, it's going to be Hillary Clinton, but they have to pretend also, Democrats, that they love Biden. This is the MC Breed election. Ain't no future in your front, and all they do is front. That's it. That's all they do is front. That's all they do is they pretend to be something they're not. Like I still can't get over Howard Stern. He doesn't like Trump supporters. Who does he like? The I'm with her crowd, the Tipper Gore establishment Democrat crowd that would silence him in 2 seconds. The people who want free speech the most are conservatives nowadays, not liberals. So does he want to silence himself? If you played Howard Stern clips to Rose Twitter, they would try to cancel him tomorrow. They would try to erase every Howard Stern show, radio segment. And that's who he's pandering to. It's unbelievable. No, I don't like Trump. I don't like Trump supporters. Really? They're the people who make up your viewership. It ain't, maybe Sirius Satellite's different. Who knows? Maybe it's different now. Back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, it was more of the typical Trump supporter. And the typical Trump supporter is not a conservative, so it wouldn't be like the stodgy Republican or, uptight liberal. You talk about comedy. You can't even be a comedian now in college campuses. Because if you say something offensive, it's game over. And this is a guy, Howard Stern, who his whole life was only hilarious, offensive, irreverent comedy. And now he's embracing the rear end of the same people who hate that stuff. So there you go. But everything, look. Yet again, people are jumping on the wrong bandwagon. I've never seen so many, high-profile people bet against Trump again. They're betting against Trump again. It's really unbelievable. Didn't I tell you? I said, wait, look. The same people who say Clinton is not gonna be nominee they're going to be saying, oh my God, she could probably win. Lars Lensdale, have a latte on me. AJ, thank you so very much. I believe Starbucks is open, so I might have I might eventually have a latte. Loud Citizen. All right, Loud Citizen. Cajun Man, thank you. H, thank you. Cajun Man, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. Lars, thank you. Lars, thank you so much. Yeah, it's really it's going down, everyone. It is going down. Now you got Richard Grenell dropping the hammer, the people's elbow, dropping the snake like Jake the Snake. I'm telling you, they're going to underestimate Trump again. He's going to win again, and they did a disservice to their cause, ladies and gentlemen. With this crisis, it was the worst run crisis, and it wasn't Trump. It was actually the opposite. They're trying to blame Trump. Meanwhile, they were impeaching Trump in January. And then they fabricate, he knew in January. Like, no, he didn't. The intel community would have... when they lose, it would have leaked. They still leaked the SEAL dossier, but they didn't leak. You have all... The reason that you'll have another Trump victory is because of people like Jimmy Kimmel, because of The View, because of Robert De Niro, because of people, the average American looks at these people and says, wait, I want to work. I'm healthy. I work with other healthy young people. Why can't I pay my rent now? Why is society was already becoming more there were already issues with social media and loneliness. Now they're like, do you really want to open up? It's like, yes, Democrats and media, we do. Yeah, we do. These same liberals, by the way, will drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes and they won't realize that that's a health, not only a health concern. In society, people will lose their lives by engaging in certain action. Not possibly will lose their lives. It is a certainty that you're going to have people lose their lives because of a whole bunch of reasons. But you need society to function. You do not eliminate the economy. You don't eliminate the economy to protect people. It doesn't work that way. That is the most bizarre thing of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I am going to do a segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel. Ramon Cepeda, hello. Thank you for always watching, Ramon. Thank you, everybody. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you. God bless you all. And yes, CG3SSF, old school. Thank you, everybody. God bless. To my super chat, thank you. I will be back with an upload on this channel in about 5 or 6, probably 7 hours. But check H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. Huge news regarding Brennan. Thanks, everybody.